Good morning, everyone. This is Nate G. It is Wednesday, August 21st, and we're going to do a session on Thinkorswim's active trader, setting orders, setting stops, setting profit targets, and then also show how to set an OCO order both before you put the trade on, so it does it automatically, and then how to do that after a trade is already on. Okay, so really quick, is there anybody in here that does not know how to find their active trader on Thinkorswim? Type a 1 in chat if you don't know how to find that. I'm hoping that everybody at least knows where their active trader is. You have to have Thinkorswim, of course. And where you'll find that is when you're making charts. So what I should have done was brought up a set of charts that were, if you have the tabs here on the side of your charts, right? So for instance, see if we can really mess this thing up, make it confusing as hell. So a lot of times you'll have a chart, right? And we have, let's say we have the SPY, and you'll have, your chart will look like this, and then you'll have tabs here on the side, right? And if you want to make a new window and turn active trader on, so you could have an active trader and the chart for that right next to it. Or if you just want to create an active trader window, you can close the tab that says chart and it's just a window that has active trader. Okay. So if you don't have these tabs on the side, if it's just blank, you have to, let me think here. You have to go to this big up here. There's like a nine square piece of I don't know, menu bar. You have to press that, and you have to go to customize grid. Okay, and these will come up. This is how you split the grid or you delete one of them, right? So for instance, once I've done that and I've got this little dialog bar up, I can say, okay, in this grid up here, you can see I have two grids, right? Top and bottom. I want to split this middle grid and I want to split it sideways, right? So I do that, and all of a sudden I get a window over here that I can put whatever I want in that window, right? But I don't want that window, so I'm going to delete that one. Okay, I could do a top to bottom split. Okay, now I have 3 windows open. And, you can resize those windows if you want. But I don't want that either, so I'm going to delete that, right? So that's how you can add windows, change windows, create 2 like I've done here. And what you want to make sure you're clicking is the sidebar and sidebar, right? That way you've got this bar on the side, so that if this is preset to chart, right, then you can see over here, oh no, I want active trader and I don't want the chart open. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on that? And to do that, you have to be in your charts tab up here. Charts and flexible grid. Okay. So once you have those opened, okay, I'm gonna close this customized grid. And what I've done, and you can do, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to grab up here. What I've done is I've colored this this upper grid as red, so everything links to red. And then this second grid down here I've colored to yellow, right? Because if they're colored the same, they are going to, when you put an option chain in this upper one, it'll be the same in this bottom one, and I want two different ones. And I'm usually going with my calls up top and my puts below. But then I've also been trading shop and other things, and you just put those things in here. So top one is red, bottom one is yellow. And the way I put an option chain in here, you only have one grid on and no option to change the color. So you don't have this option here that said that link, unlink, and other options. You might want to check with, are you doing this? Is this the desktop version? Oh, yeah, you're not going to be able to do this, I don't think, on your phone. This is desktop. DP. Yeah, you're not. I have never tried trading this on my phone, so this is desktop. Okay, so I have 1 and 2 set, and somebody showed me a kind of a cool trick, which I didn't like at first because it wasn't my normal pattern. So I'll show you how I did it. So you have your charts tab up here, and if you go to your trade tab, that brings up your option chains, right? So what I would do, you type in SPY up here, and I make sure that's a different color number so that I can look at different option chains, and it's not going to change the options that I'm in on my active trader window. And so what I was doing is let's say we're going to take the 0 DTE calls and put them into that upper one. I was going right click, copy, and then I was coming back over to this chart, and I was pasting that into the active trader window, and then that brings up the option contracts, right? What you can also do is you can right click that option, right? That's the one you want to put in there. Right click and then come all the way down to the bottom, and I'll send it to red, okay? And then if I'm grabbing the options, the puts, I do the same thing, and I'd send that to yellow, okay? Now when I come back over here, I have, my calls up here and my puts down here, and I can verify that because I can read SPY weekly August 21st 5:59 calls, right? And I can read SPY weeklies August 21st 5:59 puts, so that I know that I have calls up here and puts down here. Now this is if you're trading the snipers, right? Or SPX, if you want to do SPX. I'm doing SPY because I'm going to just, I'm going to buy one contract and show you how to set these things up, right? But you could do the exact same thing for the SPX. You could do it for the IWM. You could do it for anything. I even did when I was buying my shop calls from yesterday. I just popped over here, typed in shop, right, and then pulled up the calls, and I just sent, I wanted to buy calls, and I sent them to my my red window, and I came over here, and they were up here, and I bought those calls. Okay. You don't have the bar above where that says SPY here, or on the trade tab there on the option chain. You should when you go to options and you go all products, right? You should be able to type in what ticker you want to see the options for. No, this is the desktop version. Okay. So this is, if I wanted to see options for Netflix, right, I'd see all the weekly options for Netflix. Right, if I wanted to see options for Amazon, if I could type them in, right? Amazon. There we go. Yeah, the chart on the left is Trading View. The chart, the active trader and options is Thinkorswim. I chart in Trading View on the left, and I trade in Thinkorswim. Okay, so any questions on how to get an option chain into your active trader and how to set up your active trader? We haven't made a trade yet, so let's not worry about that just yet. Are there any questions on how to get this? Which available items have I chosen under customize? I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean there? Like what are chosen? Oh, up here, option chain. Yeah, I filter off spread single layout last X net change. You could change that to. It'd be nice to have delta in there as well, so you can go in and you can add delta. But I kind of know what delta we're at just based on whether it's in the money or out of the money, right? Yep, I'm recording it right now. Okay, so now we've got that set up. It's under your trade tabs and all products. I'm going back to charts, and that's where I have my active trader set up, right? I don't need to see charts because I chart in Trading View. Okay, so it looked like a few minutes ago a SPY sniper was setting up. Okay, but it looks like it probably would have stopped most people out, and we never got a change to a yellow candle, right? So in this case, we're basically essentially making a head and shoulders, right? If you can you all see that? This is the 2 minute, but that's a pretty clear head and shoulders, right? There's our neckline, and we're sort of breaking that neckline. Now, we could find support down here, potentially. So there's not really a sniper trade to be made here, but we're going to put a trade on anyway, just as an example of how to trade these, okay? So let's say I think, we're about to come into this lower double bottom area on the SPY, and it's looking like we're going to get a reversal setup here on the 2 minute chart. And I think I'm waiting for the signal, and I want to be clear, I don't have a signal yet. But to expedite the trade that we're making, right, I could buy one call here. Let's do that first. Let's buy a call right here at, you see how you can mark it into these as long as it's not moving too quickly. Okay, so we're coming into that level. Let's say I have a trigger that says, okay, we're going to get a little bit of a reversal here. Although we're breaking through that, I should really go the other direction. But we're going to try it. Okay, so I'm going to buy one straight. Okay. And now I have marketed into one contract of the SPY 0 DTE options. Okay. Now I can see on my left side one thing I have done, which I highly recommend, is you customize your active trader. Right? You see this gear over here, this gear icon, way over here. It's kind of tiny. You click that, customize, and you search PL open, and you put it in to your active trader, and that helps you see, you know, where you are in profit or loss on that particular trade. Okay, so we are now up $7, well, less than that now, $5 in this option contract, right? We can now say, okay, I'm in this one. I want to set a stop, right? I'm going to set a stop at $10. Okay. Let's set it a little bit lower than that. Well, no, we'll set it right there. Okay. I'm setting a stop. Okay. My stop is in. If this continues to drift lower, it's going to take me out, which it looks like it probably is, right? Because we never really got a trigger. I was just showing you how to enter a trade. Okay. Now, this one will stop me out if it comes down below my level, but I don't have a profit target exit, right? Now, I can't put both of those in at the same time. Once this is in, it won't let me add an exit order. So then I just have to kind of wait until, you know, this hits my target, and then I have to take it off. You know, the flip side of that, right, is you could come in here and say, okay, I'm going to take that off at $20 if it comes up. And I can put a single limit order in at $20, but I have no stop in here, right? So, you know, if it was going our direction, that would be fine. You say, okay, I'm going to hit my target up here, and that order will just sit there until it either gets hit or, you know, the day closes, or you close out this order, right? So any questions on how to place an order? You know, you can change your quantities for how many contracts you want up here, right? And you can set these. For options, I have 1, 3, 5, 10, and 20. For stocks, it's much different. It's 1,000, 3,000, 5,000, I think. Okay. But I do primarily option trading. All right. So had we left our stop on, we're getting pretty close to getting stopped out. Okay. So the other way to do this, if the trade is already on and you want to bracket your order, right, using an OCO, you go up here to this template bar, right, and you say OCO, and I change this to, you know, 10%. Okay, so when you come in here, you see it's automatically setting. I haven't entered an order yet, right? Do you see the, whoops. I'm going to take that off, sorry. Did not mean to hit that. So as I come in and I go, you have to do it every time you're going to place an order, okay? As I come into the ask side of the active trader, boom, it puts a 10% stop loss from the current location, right? I'm getting beat up on this option here at the moment. I should have bought puts. Okay, so what it does, you watch me go over the ask here. Boom. So you can see that stop go in right down here, right, at 10%, because that's what it's set at, 10% stop. And then I drag my other cursor up. You see the sell limit order? So I drag that up to, let's say I want a 10% stop and I want to take it off at $20. So if I hit that, now it's set in a 10% stop from where I was, which was already, you know, 10 or 15% low, down, below my entry price. And you see this, I have a bracket over here on the left-hand side that goes all the way up. So my profit target is in and my stop is in. And now I can move those as I see fit, right? If I want to move my profit target down, I can, right? If I want to move my stop down or up, I can. And that bracket stays. And if the stop gets taken out, the profit target order will get taken out. One cancels other, right? And so those are both in. So to get out of this trade, you can't just flatten or sell market. You actually have to close these or move up your stop, right? So this is going to come down and potentially take out my stop because this looks fairly weak at the moment. Okay, so we'll see that happen here in a second. See if it comes down and takes out my stop. So is there any questions on how to set a OCO order after the trade is on? The one hard part about it is that you have to make sure that when you're setting that OCO and you change it to like a percent, that your stop is far enough away when you first put it on that you're not going to put it on and it's just going to go and take you out, right? You can adjust it once it's on. So the stop is going to be below where you currently are, but you want to also make sure your limit is at a spot where it's not going to take you out. You know, some options have a big spread, and if you're inside that spread, you're going to get taken out. Okay, so we'll leave that order on for a minute and see what happens with it. See if it's going to bounce. And now that this is on, I'm either going to lose. This is a terrible example because you want your stop loss to be less than. So here we go. Let's do this. I'm either going to lose $29. And now that it's moved up, I'm going to move it to 25. Okay. I'm either going to lose $25 or I'm going to make 40. And I can just walk away. I can just walk away from this trade. I've taken my emotions out of it. Right? This is going to do what it's going to do. And then I need to reevaluate later, you know, did I make the right decisions? Was my stop in the right spot? You know, those kinds of things. But this helps take the emotion out of it. Now, you can set those on your own, right? After you put the trade on, like we just showed, or you can build a bracket. Okay, so a bracket, I like to change these to percentages. That's TRG with bracket. Okay. And I'll change my take profit at 25% and my stop loss at 15%. Okay. 25, 15. And then I'm going to hit this little icon over here if I haven't already done this. And I'm going to name this, teaching, okay, SPX, or sniper. Let's do sniper. Teaching sniper. Okay, save. So now, if I'm going to make a trade, let's say I think we're going to trade a sniper to the downside, right? Because these are my puts. What I'm going to do is come in here before I make the trade. And I'm going to say, see, it's right down here. I'm going to pull this template, and you have to do it for every trade. It doesn't stay that way. I'm going to pull my teaching sniper. I'm going to say I want to buy one. I can buy limit, but you see it's putting a 25% take profit and a 25% stop loss right in the order. So it puts all three orders in at the same time. So I could have 5 contracts and it would do it for 5 contracts, right? I could do it for 1 contract and it's going to do it for that 1 contract. So then even if I mark it in and I have this set correctly, okay, let's mark it into this order on the put side, which it looks like we're going up at this point, which sounds, maybe I'll just do another call here. But I'm trading 1 contract, so it's not a big issue, right? So here, let's buy market. on the put side. Okay, so my order is in, right, at 126. That order has been placed. As you see up here, I have a profit target at $32, right? And I have a stop at $18. The order's in, profit target and stop are in, right? So now this trade can do what it needs to do, right? And a lot of times what I'll do, and I want one of these to work this way, but we're kind of coming back up into this point of control. I don't really know what's going to happen here. So what I will do is, if let's say, let's say these were hundreds, like 300, right? Because we put on, 10 contracts or whatever the case might be, or we're trading the SPX, right? If this order gets up into like, $150, or in this case, $15, it gets kind of halfway there. I will take my stop loss, because you can see how you can move this, right? I will take my stop loss and move it up to 0, so that once we're in profit, right, and well in profit, where it's not going to it's not like trading here and it's going to, just quickly wick me out, then it becomes a free trade. And then I can really sit back. This is going to come take me out because we're pushing, right? And then it becomes a free trade, right? Then I don't have to worry about it. There'll be 0 loss if it goes against me. And my profit target is in. So watch, this is going to take me out here in a second if we keep pushing. And once it does, it'll also cancel this order so that I'm not shorting this, later. No, it's not odd to have multiple consecutive yellow candles. That means momentum is moving upward. That's not odd at all. Okay, so this is probably going to take me out here. This order is still on. I wouldn't have two opposing orders in the SPX or the SPY, right? That would be ridiculous. I'd be trading in one direction or the other. But I'm just showing you how they work. Okay, I got taken out on that. So as you can see, now I have no more sell order in. My stop just took me out. So then on this call up here, now that we're into a little bit of profit, I wouldn't do it this early, but this is how you would do it. I'm just going to move my stop up to 0. Okay, it's going to take me out right here. But, right, so that's a no loss trade, even though it stopped me out there. Now I have no trades on, as you can see, right? So my stop at $18 here on my put stopped me out. And then my call got into the money, and I moved my stop up to 0, and then it took me out, but that's a no loss trade. Does that make sense how you can do these? So when you're looking for these triggers, right? So on this 2-minute chart, we had a trigger, here, and then we had a yellow candle forming there. So those two together would be a trigger to go long. If you have if you have everything set up, right, then it's super quick. Like, okay, let's say, okay, I can pop over here. I can say, okay, SPY, I want to buy the 558s. I'm going to move those to my red column, right? I already know that this is my red column, right? I'm going to hit my sniper SPX trade brackets. I want to buy 1, and I'm going to mark it in, or I'm going to limit in right here. And then once I'm in, once all of those things line up and my trigger fires and I put that trade on, I can just let that trade work. Right? And make adjustments as we go. Now, what I don't recommend is making adjustments to your stop like to move it lower. I don't recommend that. Like, oh, it's pulling back, it's going to stop me out. I know there's a tendency to want to do that because it pops in as a loss, right? But if that's what you set as your stop to help protect yourself, then you need to keep it there, right? And if it comes in and takes you out, it comes in and takes you out. That's my opinion, especially if you're the type of person that struggles with the emotional side of trading, of letting things go too far. Um, I use both 2 minute and 1 minute. It just happened that we were pulling back here, and there was maybe going to be a setup showing up, and it was kind of blocky here. You see the multiple signals here on the 1 minute. So I was looking for an opportunity to show, kind of a clean setup potential. But I toggle between 1, 2, and 3. Is there any questions on the active trader and how to do that? After you take a trade off, as you can see, I got stopped out here. If I wanted to put a new trade on, I have to remember to do, you have to remember to and you can see that the ones you saved are labeled in here. So it's really easy to just pull that down. And I know my sniper SPX is 25 profit target, 15 stop loss. You save the template by going here. I'll do it up here on the top, right? For the first time you do it, you go TRG with bracket. Okay. And then you set whether you're doing percentages or, you're going to do a trailing stop or whatever. You come in here and I'm going to write, let's do a different one. Let's do 10%. And let's say you're trying to like scalp, right? We're going to go 10 and 10. And then I'm going to hit this little custom order template, save custom order template piece right here. And I'll label that sniper scalp or something like that, right? And then when I come in here, you see my sniper SPX, my sniper scalp, and then the one I did earlier, teaching sniper, which I'm going to delete. Okay, so that's how you save it. And then when it's in there, you can just pull it in, sniper scalp. I'm buying one at 10% loss and 10% win, right? Now that's not good risk reward, but I'm just showing you how you can change those settings. If you want a tighter stop, you set a tighter stop. DWB, that is right there. Any questions on this? And you can see that there's the videos on there about the sniper trade. I'm not really going into that in this video because I really wanted this just to be about active trader and OCO orders. Phil, you could move your profit if you want, or you can change things to trailing stops if you like that. I like to keep it simple. If I'm looking for 25%, on a rare occasion, I'd say maybe 3 to 4%, maybe 5%. I don't know why I chose 3 or 4. Maybe 5% of the time, I see, I'll be in a trade and it'll be pushing. I'll see that we've moved up above a certain VP level, that I have marked on this SPY chart, and then I'll look at the VIX and not the VIX. I'll look at the ticks and I'll see that the bar is pushing up to 900, and I'm like, okay, I have a little, I have all these signals that are telling me that we're pushing. So, maybe I'll adjust my target up a little bit. But what I found is sometimes you can get greedy, right? If you get in the habit of adjusting that, or even worse, adjusting your stop down because you don't want to get taken out, and then all of a sudden, you've adjusted your stop to twice your risk level, and because you think you're gonna, not get stopped out, and it's gonna go the other way because you're trading on hope or whatever, and then all of a sudden, you do get a little bit of a bounce, but then it rolls over, and now your stop is at 25% versus 15%. So, it's until you get a good feel for it. My recommendation is, figure out what you want your target and your stop to be, and just do that. And you'll find that over time, with a 25% win and a 15% loss, or a 10% loss, whatever you want to put in there, you can be a 50% correct trader and still be profitable. Right? You can be less than 50% and still be profitable. So, but once you start making adjustments to that because you're trading on hope or fear or whatever, then it starts to you start to skew your risk reward. Bueller, yeah, this is recorded. Just trying to catch up on chat here. Oh, thanks, Lizzie. I appreciate that. I try to label them in a way that's easy to find, but sometimes they just get like there's so many of them. Default quantity change. That's a great question. I believe you do it. God, it's been a long time since I did that. Let's see. Let's see. It is. Should it be in here? It's a great question. I know. Is it this? Position, profit loss. Well, I'm going to have to look into that because I don't. Second line. That's a great question. I'm sure somebody knows. Oh, is it applications settings? I'll play with it and try and figure it out. There's definitely there's definitely a way to do that. I wonder if no, it's not. Yeah, I'll figure that out. This very top gear here. No, that seems. Yeah. Anyway, I'll try and figure it out, and I'll let you know. Dig around a little bit. Maybe you might be able to find it or YouTube it. I made that change so long ago. It's crazy. Let's see, maximize more info. Anyway, I'm not going to waste time trying to figure that out. But it's doable. All right, any other questions? Nice, TTTC. 21%. Gotta love that. Yeah, you can set a trailing stop. Right, as you change these. Right, let's say you wanted a 10% trailing stop. That'll move up with you, right? So let's say you put in a 10% stop there. Let's say you wanted a 25% target. Right? Now you put that on and that trailing stop will move up. You know, will always be 10% from that level. You know, there's a lot of swings in the market, you know, especially when you're trading the SPX, but you could do something like that and just experiment. I haven't experimented with the trailing stop. I just feel like there's so many swings. MPK, no, not really. I'm just trying to make good quality trades. But if I was like just trading single SPX contracts, right? Um, you know, I could be shooting for like, you know, 500 a day, that kind of a thing, off of one contract. But understanding that some of those are most likely going to be losses. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I know Nate's gonna probably come on here pretty soon. I know he's at the dentist with his daughter. So, Nate, are you in here? Chart setting. Which chart settings, Nancy? You want this sniper chart settings? Okay, you know the one that just be aware what won't come through is this ready aim fire piece right here down below because that's a paid indicator. But I can share the rest with you. There you go. As you can see, I shouldn't have messed around with that call I had on up here. I moved my stop up. Remember, we had that call on, and I moved my stop up to 0 to show you how to move it when we really hadn't pushed that much higher above everything. And it kind of came down and wicked me out on this little down move here. But that would be looking pretty good. It'd probably be pretty close to the take profit level. Yeah, you can find ready aim fire on TOS. I think it works. I think it works well. Um, I've had it for a very long time. I did not purchase it for this application. I used it to help develop this application of the sniper trade. So I think you can accomplish the same thing through, you know, MACD and RSI. This is essentially an RSI indicator, and these arrows are printing when there's a MACD cross. So, you know, I think this indicator is like $700, and then you own it. It's not like a pay as you go thing, But there's other ways to do it. There's also other indicators that kind of give you similar, but they're also paid, that give you similar features. So I would say, experiment with this trading style. This is my recommendation, I guess. Experiment with this trading style using, your MACD and your RSI, right? And you're getting very similar indicators, right? And then see if it's something that fits with your style. And if it does, then maybe something like that is worth $700. But I would say at the beginning, if you don't even know if this trading style is for you, I would say I would say it's not worth it. Because what if you buy it, but then this trading style doesn't work for you, right? You've got to make these things your own, and they have to kind of fit with your risk parameters, your style of trading, all that kind of stuff. No, it's the same for Thinkorswim or TradingView, same name. Yeah, Firebird, if you can code, you can write your own version of it. There you go, Lizzie. There's Lizzie uses both RSI and MACD very successfully. So then Lizzie, you would say that you don't need to spend the $700 on Ready Aim Fire, do you? Okay, that is it for me. I will chat with you all later, and I will get this posted up. So anybody wants to rewatch it, they can. Take care.